The biggest thing. Let's talk about it.
The biggest thing?
Let's talk about
that Jay-Z speech?
Let's talk about it, please.
Because
first of all, what did he go up there for?
Multiple parts, because the shots that he fired and then was like, oh, my bad. Like I get nervous when I tell the truth when I'm nervous.
Right.
That was like, and I meant that shit, standing on 10 toes.
The crazy part is though, he went up there to accept that Dr. Dre Icon Award, right? And the Grammy's black.
Right.
So, okay, that's the first like ironic thing about it. And he goes up there.
Ain't nobody going up there to win that award ever again. He is the first and the only.
Thank you for my award. I appreciate it. You know, he's talking about when Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince boycotted, but they won the award, but it wasn't televised. The same thing happened at the Grammys on Sunday night. Killer Mike swept the hip hop categories, and none of it was televised. And then he was detained after.
Yeah.
So
odd.
Yeah, you know, I just feel like Killer Mike was that's one of the biggest stages and platforms that you have in music, right? Killer Mike being so pro-black and conscious and being so down for his people in his community, I just know he was gonna have something to say at that acceptance speech. And there's a reason why he was detained, and that speech wasn't televised, y'all. The revolution will not be televised. But anyway, that's another conversation. Crazy. But that brings me to my point. That's the Jay-Z going up there and saying that the Grammys, they don't, and we talked about this, they don't give us what we deserve, ever. He went up there and didn't have to say no names, even though we know he's talking about his wife. He said, how does the person that have the most Grammys in history, more than Michael Jackson, not have an album of the year?
Not for Beyonce? Not for Renaissance?
Not even for Lemonade. But those are my two, Beyonce and Lemonade, right? Self-titled. So what I did was go back and look at like some categories the categories of album of the year to see what was in there when she should have won. So first of all, no black woman has won album of the year since Lauryn Hill in 1998. Since
25 years.
That's 25 years?
25
what year
years.
we in 2024? That's almost 26 years now.
It's crazy.
That is crazy. And the one before that was in 92 for the soundtrack of The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston. And we already know the controversy that album has and that movie has in general. Right? So I'll go back. I'm like, the albums that I think Beyonce should have won album of the year for, most definitely Beyonce in 2015.
Absolutely. Without a doubt.
What?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Self-titled, visual album, surprise drop digitally, like,
it's crazy.
Broke the internet.
Literally.
You're not getting no higher than that.
They took a page out of J. Cole's book with that drop. Because J. Cole was the one who was doing like surprise drops before that. And then they took a page out of his book.
But not surprise drop visual albums.
Not that.
Not that. A video for every single song.
They got to level up. Take it and then make it even better.
And then I don't even want to get into the VMAs because I didn't do my research on that. But I don't even think that album got enough VMAs. Honestly.
And that's
man. So then we move on to...
That is a body of work.
Maybe Lemonade. The year that Lemonade won was, I think that was Hello, Adele, that album.
Okay. And Adele went up there and was like,
The way you make my black friends feel, I love it, we love you. I'm like, yeah, that album was very deserving, first of all, because of how honest it was. It was another visual album. It wasn't a surprise, but it was a visualizer. Right. You know, it was very widespread on the genre field. It wasn't just R&B, it wasn't just pop. There was country in there, there was rock in there. There were so many dope samples. Like, that album didn't get the love that it deserved.
It didn't.
So Lemonade for sure. Right. Talk about it.
Renaissance to not win album of the year, and it had the impact that it did. Like, what?
I wish you could win awards for tours. Can you?
I mean, that's basically what.
Listen. Anyway, yeah, Renaissance is deserving, and I don't know. I feel like even honestly, nah, she got a lot of awards for it. But I will say the other albums like B-Day, they were up against some big ones like Graduation.
Yeah,
So,
I think between Beyonce, the self-titled album, and Renaissance, those were the two snubs that
for sure
don't make sense.
For sure, I couldn't believe it last year when I'm looking. I'm like,
who
won last year? I want to say it was not Harry Styles was in 2015. Last year it was dang, it's on the tip of my tongue. 2023, the winner. I'm gonna come back to that, but yeah, I feel like Renaissance was more deserving of anything that won.
On top of the fact that the person who did win, like, Taylor Swift, we can just say it. Taylor Swift won Album of the Year this year. She now has 4 Album of the Year Grammys, which is the most won by any person. I don't know. I mean, I know how I feel about it.
It was Taylor Swift last year.
It was Taylor Swift last year?
Yes, Midnight. Okay, so I'm sure everybody has heard Break My Soul. I don't think I've heard one song from that.
Not one
And I'm
song.
not a Taylor Swift hater either. I just want the music that is being played worldwide and mainstream to be, you know, accepted and rewarded for what they're doing. Like, nobody will ever be able to take away what Beyonce did with Renaissance and the way that it made the world feel.
Impact is crazy.
Yeah, because it wasn't just a black thing either. It wasn't that was a world thing that she did with that album. So for her to not get Album of the Year
and to lose,
I'm so happy Jay-Z went up there and said that. You better hold your wife down.
Some of y'all shouldn't even be in these
That's a black
categories.
king right there. He said some of y'all gonna get snubbed tonight.
Some of y'all gonna get robbed tonight.
I like that he went up there and told the truth though. That's how you're supposed to do it.
10 toes.
And I love
That's
the way
a good man, Savannah.
That's a good man, Savannah. I love the way Beyonce and Blue didn't give the cameras nothing. Like they just stood there like they didn't shake their head no or yes. Beyonce just like.
I saw this clip
and I'm
it was like
him.
Beyonce don't come to award shows because y'all live to embarrass her at these award shows, and it was just like a montage of moments that like she's like at these awards.
Right. I was so scared when Fantasia had walked up by. Remember, she was like, "I need a pretty lady to shake their hips," and she stopped. I want to say at like I forgot who she stopped at. I don't want to get her name wrong, but then she had walked past Beyonce, and I was like, "Is she about to stop at Beyonce and embarrass her?" And then I was like, oh, okay, cool. Because this ain't a Beyonce show. This is the Grammys.
It's the Grammys.
But I will say I am extremely happy that Jay-Z got up there and did that. He has a point, though, for sure. I agree 1,000% with him.
And drank some Douce right out the Grammy.
And got right up, too. He's like, you know what? I'm going to get my award, and me and my Carters,
I don't think we're going to see them at the Grammys again.
No, not unless it's like something like that. Like I feel like the only reason Beyonce was there because she was just supporting her husband.
Yeah.
You know, because
I don't think we're going to see them at the Grammys again. And we got that wrong. Well, partially, you know, I'll give it a half credit.
How did we? She didn't perform at all. I mean,
yeah, she didn't perform, but we guessed who did.
Yeah, you right. We was kind of right. See, we know this R&B shit. We on it.
Oh, sorry. The 2023 Album of the Year was Harry Styles.
Harry Styles?
With Harry's House.
Album of the Year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought my Googling is off. Okay.
Gotta fact check sometimes.
Yeah, well, thank you for checking my facts. That's the producer, Rob, in the back. Shout out
to all the producers.
Yeah, y'all got to keep us right and tight, and I appreciate you, Rob. But yeah, no, even that wasn't bigger than Renaissance.
I don't know a song off that album
Point
either.
Still's proven. Like, Harry Styles, love him.
Great
artist, but it wasn't bigger than what Renaissance did. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that because I'm a Beyonce fan.
Right.
I'm saying that because I'm a music fan. Yeah. And that's just what it was.
R&B only.